Let's look at basic concepts. I just explained to you the objectives PO, program objectives. Then we saw specific program objectives and thereafter course objectives. Okay, so please go through program objectives, specific program objectives and course objectives that help you to understand the purpose for which you are learning this course. Okay. So let us look at the basic concepts. This semester you are going to study Income Tax Act 1961 basically. So before we go into Income Tax Act 1961, let's see what is a tax. You know what is a tax? You learn the meaning of tax in economics. So you are familiar with the word tax. Anyway, here is a small definition. Tax is a fee charged by government on a product, income or activity. It is a charge or it's a fees. This fees or this charge or this item charged by government. It can be on product, on income or any activity. When we look at tax, tax can be divided into the two types of taxes. Direct taxes and the second one, indirect taxes. Direct taxes and indirect taxes. If tax is levied directly on the income or wealth of a person, then it is direct tax. That is income tax, wealth tax are examples of this tax. Income tax or wealth tax, examples of this tax. Right. In other words, direct tax is a tax that you pay from your pocket directly to the government. Direct tax is paid by a person to the government from his own pocket. That's called direct tax. And if the tax is levied on price of goods or service, then it is called an indirect tax. Excise duty, customs duty, service tax, sale tax or value added tax, examples of indirect taxes. Yes, indirect tax difference is the person paying the tax passes on the incident to another person. For example, a shopkeeper pays GST to the government, but he is not paying that amount from his pocket. He takes it from customers and that amount is paid to the government. So that is indirect tax. So taxes are two types, direct tax and indirect tax. We can say that direct tax we pay directly to the government from our own source, and indirect tax, a person who pays it to the government but he collects it from somebody else. That's called indirect tax. Okay. Now next question that comes is, why are taxes levied? Why are taxes levied? These are the answer to this question you already learned in economics. You are familiar with that. Okay. The levy of taxes is that they constitute the basic source of revenue to the government, and revenue so raised is utilized for meeting expenses of government like defense expenses, provision of education, health care, infrastructure facilities like roads, dams, etc. So this revenue government uses for the well-being of the public, provide roads, education institutions, hospitals, yes, support defense activities, health activities, and go and so on. Clear. Now we will look at overview of income tax in India. When we hear the word income tax, we understand one point, that income tax is a tax on income of an individual. Income tax is a tax on the income of a person, right? Now, when we talk about income tax, there are 5 components in it. 5 things that controls the decision of income tax. Number 1, Income Tax Act 1961. Number 2, Annual Finance Act. Number 3, Income Tax Rules. Number 4, Circulars and Notifications. Number 5, Legal Decisions of the Court. Clear. Now, let us first look at what is income tax. Income tax is an act. Income Tax Act 1961. Income tax governed by Income Tax Act 1961. Yes, this act came into force on 1st April 1962. Okay, effect from 1st April 1962. This act contains 298 sections and 14 schedules. That means the whole act is divided into sections. There are 298 sections and 14 schedules in the original Income Tax Act 1961. But these sections and schedules undergo changes every year with additions, deletions brought about by the Finance Act passed by the Parliament. So there are changes that takes place. Yes, every year there may be some additions to these sections in 10A, 10B, like that, 10DD. It goes like that, 10DD. So these additions and some of the sections deleted. These deletions and additions comes through Finance Act passed by the Parliament every year. We will see that. Okay, got it. This is Income Tax Act 1961. This Income Tax Act gives power to an administrative body called Central Board of Direct Taxes. So this body is constituted under this act, takes care of collection and other details of income tax. Now we will look at Finance Act. What is a Finance Act? You all know that every year the Finance Minister of India presents a budget before the Parliament. Okay, this budget is known as Finance Bill. This is divided into 2 parts. Part A of the budget speech contains proposed policies of the government in physical areas. Proposed policies, physical policies. Part B of the budget speech contains the detailed tax proposals. Detailed tax proposals. And in order to implement the above proposals, Finance Bill is introduced in the Parliament. And after discussion, once the Finance Bill is approved by the Parliament and gets the assent of the President, it becomes a Finance Act. So presently, we are in Finance Act 2020. This is the second thing that helps us to calculate income tax. Thirdly, income tax rules. See, in Central Board of Direct Taxes as the administrative authority of direct taxes, and they frame rules. In certain cases, in Income Tax Act 1961 is silent in certain calculations. For example, suppose you are a manager of a company and your company provides you an accommodation that is rent-free accommodation. No rent you need to pay. You can stay with your family in that house free of rent. But Income Tax Act 1961 Section 17 says seriously that the value, the perquisite value of rent-free accommodation is taxable. The perquisite value of rent-free accommodation is taxable. Then how to calculate perquisite value? The act is not very clear. So the income tax rules explain to you and help you to find out how to calculate perquisite value of rent-free accommodation, etc., etc. A lot of such calculation. Okay. So Income Tax Rules 1962 is passed to solve such issues. CBDT is empowered to make rules for carrying out the purpose of the Act. For the proper administration of the Income Tax Act, the CBDT frames rules from time to time. These rules are collectively called Income Tax Rules 1962. It is important to keep in mind that along with Income Tax Act, these rules should also be studied. Now, next one is circulars and notification. CBDT brings out clarifications for the provisions of Income Tax Act, Finance Act, Income Tax Rules, etc. These clarifications are brought in through circulars and notifications. These circulars and notifications are binding on income tax officers, and assessees also can follow this. But these are binding on income tax officers. They must follow circulars and notification, but assessees will follow only if it is beneficial to them. Okay, so circulars and notifications, another thing that helps us to decide income tax amount, another thing. And next one is case law. Suppose you are not happy with the decision of the income tax department. Income tax department tells you that yes, you need to pay say 80 lakhs tax, but you say that my tax liability is only 60 lakhs. Such cases you can approach the court for a decision. Court hear your case and income tax department then decides. Once court decides, that is applicable to you and income tax department. And similar such cases comes, that is also applicable. Case laws. So these are the 5 things that control the income tax. So when we talk about income tax calculations, yes, Income Tax Act 1961, Finance Act, presently Finance Act 2020, then Income Tax Rules 1962, and then notification circulars of CBDT and case decisions of the court. Okay, hope you understood. These are the things that are going to decide on how to determine income.